Hey, good morning. Chuck here with Apple Drains. Today we are waterproofing and parging a kennel. This is the back side of the kennel. We are in Ocala, Florida, kind of a drive for us. But, you know, Ocala is the horse capital of the world, in case you guys didn't know that. All the training horses, racing horses, they come down here and they train for the winter, you know, for Belmont and those kind of things, Kentucky Derby. So let me show you what we're doing here. So we are in Ocala, Florida, the horse capital of the world. This happens to be a kennel. And if you've seen some of the older videos from Charlotte, we've done lots of kennel work, lots and lots. And although there's not a problem back here, what they've got is they've got two kennels here for puppies. And what happens is on that back wall, that water comes through the wall and of course floods the floor, and you can see the puppies over there. They don't want to be in that water, just like humans. So they've got two different buildings, and in this one, this is the worst one, because they actually, when they built this building, we'll walk around back and you can see it's actually below grade. And they've got a lot of water that comes down the driveway and it's hitting this wall, but they did a nice job here. They've got some flashing. They built a little concrete slough to let that water come around and go on down to the, you know, just dirt area. But if we look back here in the back, let's walk around this fence. So a typical job, this is the back of the kennel, and you can see Matt and Chance are already starting to parge that wall. That means that we're going to dig down to the footer, clean that all off. Then we're going to put our footer pipe in, which some people call a French drain. We call it footer pipe because it's perforated pipe surrounded by gravel, or we like to use the easy drain, okay, the quick flow, because it works so much better than gravel, especially down here in Florida. And we'll probably bring this when we cover it up, we'll probably bring gravel all the way back up to grade, because somebody had excavated the area. You can see the new power coming in here. Giant oak, big oak tree right here. But as we come around that corner, we'll have to cut a few roots to get our pipe in. You can see Chuck down there, he's going to go ahead and put the sump basin in, and then we'll do our discharge where they've already started to do some of this. It'll run all the way back to the back of the fence. So Chuck already got the hole for the sump basin down. You can see it quite deep. Now we just dig right along that wall. A couple obstacles there. We've got that electric line. Luckily it's in a conduit, and of course we've got this big oak tree, and there's going to be some big roots right here. So, you know, you get in there, you chop them, do whatever you have to do. You see Matt's already got that trench ready. Pretty quick job. We'll have our discharge line. You can see where they started to run the old line, their line, but they couldn't do it for some reason. But we'll use that trench and continue and go all the way down to the end of that fence for our discharge. So luckily we have access. This is a vacant property, and we have access where we can get, you know, the trailer right up here to put the gravel in. Makes it really nice. So a quick follow-up, a lot of people asked me about our 2008 Chevy van. Well, you can see we brought that out here to the job site. We've got 565,000 miles, and it just runs great. You know, I've been using those Fram filters, which everybody in the whole internet just says they're crap. But wow, 550,000 miles, find another filter that does that. Okay, so we're gonna set up a Zoller M98, comes in a box. Inside the box, don't forget, you've got your instructions in here, and this is also your warranty card, so don't lose it. The box itself has some really good instructions, suggest you keep that always. So this sets up pretty straightforward. We've got 1.5" threaded male adapter, okay, male goes into the female. It's got a port on the pump. We're going to put this in here, make it hand tight. It's as tight as you can make it with your hand. Next, we've cut a small riser. We call this a riser, and that extends from the fitting to just right at the bottom of the safety bar right here. And we also drill, if you can see it, we also drill a 3/16 inch hole for a pressure relief. We're going to glue that up. This is an all-in-one glue. That means it has primer built into it. Lots of glue around both. Push it in and hold. Just push it down in there and hold it. Just for a couple seconds, because it tries to push itself back out, so hold it in place for just a few seconds. Next, whoops, next we're going to put a check valve on there. And you've seen many of the videos, I talk about this a lot. On your check valve, you may not have this particular check valve, but on your check valve there's going to be some type of marking that tells you the direction of water flow. This one has arrows that point upward. So we know that we want that water to come up, and inside there's a valve. Won't let the water drop back down. Put that on top. And that is held together with these stainless steel bands. This is called a no hub adapter. We'll tighten that up. 5/16" drill, just as tight as you can make it. We're ready to install the pump. It's that quick. So a lot of people get really afraid about that sump pump, but it's really something that's very simple to do. And all pumps set up the same way. I like Zollers. They come with a 3-year warranty, and wow, this pump is the M98, half horsepower. It can pump almost 100 gallons per minute. I mean, you do the math. That is super fast. That's 3 trash cans full of water every minute. That's how fast this thing pumps. So next, what we'll do is put this down in the sump basin. This is the sump basin right here. And oh, by the way, sump basins. You need a good sized basin so that has like a reservoir, because we want the water to come into the basin and then it fills up. It fills up, and then this float comes up. Can you hear that click? When it's in the up position, pump kicks on, sends all the water out, float goes down, kicks it off and shuts off. So it's very automatic. These basins come with preset nipples. They also have knockouts that you could drill a hole into for your inlet coming in. And it's easier to do it upside down, turn your basin upside down, but I'm just going to cut it off. Get yourself a good 4-inch hacksaw. That means it's going to cut 4 inches or more when you do this, and just cut it right off. This little piece here comes in really handy because you can use this as an end cap for your French drain if you wanted to. You can just stick this right onto the pipe. The 4-inch pipe fits right inside that, and it snaps right on. So if you want to keep that, people ask, do you cap the beginning of your line? Yeah, you can do it with this. So we've got an inlet line. This is accepting our footer pipe coming into the sump basin. Now we're ready to set this in place. When you dig out the hole for your sump basin, make sure it's wide enough to fit your basin down in. You can see these guys did a really nice job, a little bit of extra room on the side. And then of course when we backfill, we just tuck all that dirt back underneath of there so it stays really solid. We do have an obstacle in our way. You can see that electrical conduit, and those guys are working on some tree roots right there. Huge oak tree that came across, and of course that's undermining that foundation as well, so we're cutting those out of there. But notice where the inlet line is. Just push it off at a 45 in this particular instance, and we'll bring our footer pipe right into the sump basin. Set the sump pump down in place, and then what we're going to do for the discharge is right here, we're going to drill a 2-inch hole, because we're going to have 1.5 inch pipe that comes up, makes a 90, and comes right through here. That line comes out, and you can see the trench. They've already dug it. We're discharging clear down to the end of the fence. So at this point, we've got the sump pump set down into the sump basin, and you can see we've got the inlet line or the inlet hole installed. Next, we need to drill a 2-inch discharge. So this is a 2-inch hole saw. You use your handy dandy Black & Decker or whatever you got. Simply drill right through it. You see how quick that is. So fast. And you see the hole. This is going to accept the 1.5 inch pipe as it comes through. We'll be able to run that 1.5 inch pipe from the sump pump. Comes right out through that hole, and we'll go on down the trench. So yeah, tough spot, big roots from this tree, and you really can't get a good swing because of the overhead. They can't get a good cut down onto that with the axe, but they're about halfway through. That's a big root right there. But we need to get that out of there so we can lay that footer pipe. You can see the footer pipe has to come right down through there. Looks like they got the other one out. They just need to clean it out, and they're all done. So basically, this is my saying, if you believe you can do something, I guarantee you can do it. If you believe you can get through that route, I guarantee you'll get through it. You just have to keep working at it. Figure out the best way to chop, use a hacksaw, use a sawzall, anything you can find. But we found that the axe works the best. So I found the best way to do this is to just take a piece of 1.5 inch PVC and slide it through, stick your 90 on there, but don't glue it. And then we just need to make the measurement from the inside top of that 90, the top of the coupling, down into the no hub. And you can use a saw or a stick, just transfer the measurement, cut it off. Okay, so you can see I've glued it up. So we have, let's go review. From the pump itself, we have a male threaded 1.5 inch adapter, a small riser with a small pressure relief hole, 3/16 inch. That goes to your check valve. Check valve comes up, another riser, 90, comes through the side of the sump basin. Remember, we're all underground, right? And here, we're going to switch over to 2 inch. Okay, we're ready to switch over to 2 inch. And just to show you, there's lots of ways that you could do this. I mean, there's all kinds of different ways. This is a 1.5 inch inside to the outside 2 inch. It's called a bushing. And we're going to glue the 1.5 inch. It slides into, the 1.5 inch slides into the inside of the bushing. And then you need a coupling. And that's going to go around the outside of the bushing. And then the 2 inch pipe begins here. We'll slide it in. We're going to glue all that up. Continue to put it on down the line. One other quick note, it's much easier to put all your pipe together on the outside of the trench. In other words, don't lay it and try to put one piece at a time. Glue it all together so you've got a long line and just lay it down in the trench and you're all done. Okay, so you can kind of see what we've done is we created a small retaining wall just out of pieces of wood that were laying around here. And then we're just pouring gravel, to backfill because they'd already excavated all this. And we want to make sure that any surface water also comes into our system just because of how this is graded. Everything's graded this direction. And so pour as much gravel as you can, just keep pouring it, fill it all the way up. We'll do that all the way down to the sump basin. Okay, we're discharging here at a 6x6 catch basin because this pump really puts out a lot of water. You can see the catch basin right there. The grate, that water's going to come flood up and go out and then just run naturally, over to the easement area. Not a problem. And then we've got our pipe, we're backfilling. They're almost done. And everything's complete. This job's complete. Should keep that building nice and dry for years and years to come. So after you have all of your install complete, he's going to need an electrician. He needs a Gfi outlet put right there on the wall, and the sump pump cord, of course, is going to come right over. It's 110 volt, it plugs directly in, easy to change the pump. A lot of people ask, should you hardwire the pump? I say no, because each time you have to change the pump, you've got to redo all that wiring. Keep the plug on there, 110 volt, you plug it into a Gfi outside outlet, you're all set. We brought gravel to grade, along the side. Looks really good, and it should stop the water from coming into this building without any problem. So we're just finishing up. We're just going to mound it up, get a nice clean trench, that just has dirt on the top. It will naturally settle. We don't need to worry about any of that. This is kind of a natural area. Piece of cake job, guys. A good job for the do-it-yourselfer. We've been here maybe 2 hours, maybe 2.5. And yeah, there's 3 guys working and myself, but you could do this job yourself in 1 day. Hey, this is Chuck with Apple Drains, reminding you that if you believe you can do something, I guarantee you can do it. Have a great day. Okay, so we've got a channel drain that is in the driveway.
Yep.
Before you go show me other things, where does that discharge to?